Hello, in this video, we will be learning paraphrasing techniques. So what are paraphrasing techniques? They are basically a tactic to rewrite something in a different way. So to paraphrase something is to say the same thing in another way, but using your own words. There are a few techniques which can be used to paraphrase. Let's look at the techniques. We can paraphrase by changing from a clause to a phrase or vice versa. Change from quoted speech to indirect speech or vice versa. Change from active voice to passive voice or the other way around. Change to synonyms and change word forms. Now let's see how we can change from a clause to a phrase. I hope you know what is a clause and what is a phrase. A phrase is a group of words in a sentence that does not contain a subject and a verb. A clause, on the other hand, is a group of words which contains the subject and a verb. So in this sentence, after he studied, John took a nap. This is a clause since we have the subject and the verb. Changing it to a phrase, after studying, John took a nap. So this is a phrase, it doesn't contain the subject. Let's look at another example. The house across the street is new. This is a phrase. The house that is across the street is new. Changing it to a clause. Now the next technique would be changing from quoted speech to indirect speech. A quoted speech is what a person says directly or what exactly a person said. Mr. Lee said, I am ready for lunch. It shows that it's a quoted speech here because we have the inverted commas. Changing it to an indirect speech would be, Mr. Lee said he was ready for lunch. The third technique would be changing from active voice to passive voice. Let's look at some examples. A hotel employee will carry your bags. Your bags will be carried by a hotel employee. So the one in blue is the active voice. The one in red or purple is the passive voice. We can also use synonyms to paraphrase. For example, a hotel employee will carry your bags. Earlier, we changed it to passive voice by saying your bags will be carried by a hotel employee. So now, if we want to change the hotel employee to a synonym using another word to replace hotel employee, in this sentence, we have changed it to a bellboy. So a hotel employee, in other words, is also known as a bellboy. Your sentence then would be, your luggage will be picked up by a bellboy. Notice how we have also changed will be carried to will be picked up. The next technique is change word forms. You can use an adverb instead of an adjective. Use a verb to replace a noun. Like for example, Grog is an accurate typist. Grog types accurately. Here is a noun and we have changed it to a verb and adverb. Now let's see how we can change to synonyms. We replace the original words with words that mean the same. For example, the stallion was content with the mare. When we want to replace the word content, we look for another word with a similar meaning, and here we have used the word happy. The stallion was happy with the mare. When you can't find a synonym, what do? We replace the original word with a definition instead. So here, the stallion was content with the mare. Now for stallion, we do not have another word which means the same. So what we can do here is we can give a definition for the word stallion. And we have replaced it. The definition for stallion is a male horse. Therefore, in this sentence, the male horse was happy with the female horse. Female horse is the definition of a mare. Now we can also combine several techniques to paraphrase. Here we can change to a phrase and add synonyms or definitions. After he ate lunch, Mike took a nap. So after eating lunch, here we have changed from a clause to a phrase. Mike took a nap. We have changed it to definitions. So after eating lunch, Mike slept a little. That would be the meaning of taking a nap. This is another example. The house that is across the street is old. How can we say it? The house across the street is old. Another example would be the house on the other side of the street is old. Meaning across the street we have given another definition which means on the other side of the street. We have given another synonym for house which means dwelling. So here the dwelling on the other side of the road is ancient. We have replaced the word old with the word ancient. We can also interpret the meaning of the sentence, where you identify the underlying meaning of a statement. Let's look at an example. The wolf said, "I am ready for lunch." Now, what does this exactly mean? After the wolf has said this, the sheep looked very worried. Okay? So, if you're going to paraphrase this, meaning you're interpreting the whole meaning of these sentences, it would be the wolf complained about being hungry, which made the sheep extremely anxious. Looked very worried is replaced with extremely anxious. Okay, and the wolf saying that I am ready for lunch shows that the wolf complained about being hungry. We can also change the transitions here. Although it was raining, Bob walked to work. Here the transition word is although. So when we change it, when we paraphrase it, it can be, it was raining, but Bob walked to work. It was raining, however, Bob walked to work. The semicolon has to come before the transitional word. However, in this example, and you can also change word forms. Although it was raining, Bob walked to work. It was raining, Bob walked to work, the same example as before. It was raining, however, Bob walked to work. Despite the rain, Bob went to work on foot. This is where we have changed the word forms. That's all for this video. I hope you have found this video useful and you will use these techniques in your writing. Thank you.